Welcome, you absolute legends. I am former Froze, I am Pete, I am back, and I got asked the question the other day. I did a top 10 of my Yves Saint Laurents, and Rich Mitch, he asked me to say, Pete, show me the rest of your collection. So I'm going to do it now. There's 28 fragrances, so there's a lot to get through. I'm going to show you exactly what I've got first, and then I'm just going to rattle through them because there's a lot to get through. So I'm just going to show you what I've got first. Right, so as you can see, a lot to get through, so I'm just going to crack straight on into it. I'll start with this one, obvious one, Oud Absolute from Yves Saint Laurent. It's the blue fragrance that everyone knows. The apple up top is beautiful, works in absolutely every situation. Fantastic fragrance. All I can say is, yeah, I like why. I haven't got live, Eau Fresh or the EDT, but I've got the Oud Absolute at the moment and the Parfum. So this one, cracking first fragrance, and anyone who wears it, you know you're going to get compliments off. The next one I'll go with the other one. That's why Le Parfum. I actually like this a little bit more. It's a little bit more mature. It's definitely one of those fragrances that will definitely turn heads, and it's really good for nights out, especially in fall and winter. Another great fragrance. So this one, why Le Parfum, is definitely on my list of good fragrances from Yves Saint Laurent. Next, I'll go with a triple whammy for you. So, first one is the 1980s banger, Kouros. This is animalic. This is a beast of a fragrance. You do not need more than 2 sprays, otherwise you'll kill people with this thing. Still easy to find right now. Great fragrance. Love it a lot. Maybe because I'm an old school person. Then we go to Kouros Silver, which is a bit more lighter, a bit more fresher version. Yeah, it's a little bit more less of a beast mode, but it still performs brilliantly well. Really like this one as well, especially in fall. Maybe evening, I might actually wear this. Cracking fragrance. That's Kouros Silver. Then the last one is Kouros Body, and again, really easy to wear fragrance. It's an old vintage bottle, so I was really pleased to get that. Again, one of those fragrances that I haven't had a lot of time to wear. I've got so bloody many to get through. Cracking fragrance. I do like the scent, but I haven't tried it for very long, so I don't know the performance on that one. We're going in, okay. Okay, I'll go with these now. So we're going to go with L'Homme, the original from 2006, the apple ginger combo that works freaking well. And this is one of my first fragrances I ever bought from back in the day. Absolutely love this. I will always have a bottle of this in my collection because, quite frankly, it's amazing and I love it. So coming off from there, they had lots of flankers, and this is one of them. L'Homme Cologne Gingembre. I think I've said that right. If not, I'll put it in the description box. It's just a very unusual fragrance. People didn't really take to it, and they didn't really like it, and they didn't understand it. But I tell you what, slightly spicy fragrance. It's a real interesting fragrance. Again, not had much time with this one either, but I think this summer I might be cracking into this one. Coming in next, let's see what I've got. Okay, so we've got Frozen Cologne. This was a discontinued one, and that last one was a discontinued fragrance. This one, again, really, it's just really nice. It reminds me a bit of Frozen by Strong With You. Oh, Freeze. Strong With You, Freeze. It's got that similar sort of vibe to it. It's not exactly the same one-to-one, but it's got that feel of it. So this one again, discontinued one. Really like this one. This is another discontinued one, but you can still find this at the moment. It's L'Homme Ultim. I like this a lot. It's the rose one that again works so fantastically well. And it's just, it sparkles, it's very fresh, it's very uplifting, brilliant for the office. So, but again, it's been discontinued. If you can find a bottle of this, I promise you now, it's absolutely fantastic. So that's not one, I think. Oh no, one more. The last one, Libre. Again, this was a discontinued fragrance and it was massively underappreciated. I love the fact it's violet, but this one I got as a splash one, which means there's no atomizer. But oh my god, that smells so good. I have got back up a bottle of this, and I think that one's got a spray bottle on it. Really a classy fragrance that really was never appreciated by anyone. And they just went, you know what, gone. So this one, again, if you can find it, really massively underrated fragrance. We go there to, I don't know, let's go to this one. Now, these are the same fragrance, but I'll explain what the difference is. So this is Nando de L'Homme, and this is my vintage bottle, and that's my new bottle. And the reason I did that is to see how good this one was against this. And it's not even close. This one gets me about 3 to 4 hours. This gets me about 8 to 9. This is a 2011 batch, I remember. Fantastic fragrance. Everyone knows it's a date night fragrance. Everyone knows about the cardamom in it. All I can say is, why would you nuke this? Why? It's just trash. But this one, I love this one. I'll love it to the day I die. I'll always have one of these bottles in my collection. Probably this one more than this one. So that's, those two are the same. Then we'll go for the last couple of these. So we've got Le Parfum, which for me kind of makes up for the fact that they neutered it and then they've made a parfum, which kind of makes up for what it was originally, if that makes any sense. So this kind of makes it back to where it was for me. Still a great fragrance, love this one. And then the last two from this line, and I'm sure there's lots more, Bleu Electrique and Oud Electrique. I've done reviews of both of these. All I'm going to say is this was discontinued way too quick, and I hope to God this comes back out because it's amazing. I'm lucky I've got a backup of this. And Oud Electrique, again, it's a great fragrance. Still can be had and actually massively underrated. So, and I've done a full review of this one. Go check that video out. But these two, all I can say is they're great. So, we're cracking through this quite nicely. Next two, which are together, I would say. One of these, I think most people in the fragrance community will probably want to kill me and just take it off me. It's Rive Gauche and Rive Gauche Light. Now, this one was a really hard one to find. But this one is the old barbershop sort of fuchsia, which is... it's just a classic gentlemanly style fragrance. And this one was a lighter version of this. Again, really nice fragrance. If anyone finds this one, I tell you now, find it, pick it up, because it's going to cost a fortune in the years to come. And please have both of these. Great fragrances. Again, old school style fragrances. Massively underrated. We go from there to another old school one. And we're going into the drug world of Opium. This is the EDT version. Couldn't find the puff EDP one. Oh, it's a beastly fragrance. This will last hours. I've only worn it once, but my God, I think it lasts about 10 plus hours. It is potent. And again, it's like the 1980s. They had powerhouse fragrances. And they hadn't used any Broxin or ISOE. They just did really well made fragrances. Again, this has been discontinued. If you can find a bottle of this, and I've also got a backup of this as well, so I'll never be short of this. As far as I'm concerned, it is a cracking classic fragrance. We're going with the classics, and we're going to go with these two next. The original M7 and M7 Fresh. Now, these two, it hurts me to say that these were discontinued, but this one's a dark, sexy, seductive fragrance, and I don't know if you can see it. I've used about a quarter of it. Really amazing fragrance made by Tom Ford back in the day. All I'm going to say is should never be discontinued. But if you can find a bottle of this, I don't care what you pay for it. It's an amazing fragrance. Then you've got the M7 Fresh. And it's like the total opposite. It's the total uplift of... Oh, for goodness sake. Breaking me bottles now. On camera. How rude am I? That's it. This one is amazing. Citrusy fresh. It's just so classy. Yves Saint Laurent has done some really classy fragrances over the years, and this is no exception. One of my favourites I've ever smelled, and I'm really happy to have this in my collection. Alright, then I'll go from that to this one, which is the new version of the M7, which again, you can pick this up. It's a little bit neutered from the original, but again, it will definitely get the job done, and it's got some really nice, it's got oud and patchouli and myrrh and mandarin in it. It's really well blended fragrance for me. You could wear this pretty much all year round, and especially if you want to be like in a formal event, this thing will get the job well and truly done for you. The new version of M7. Right, we go from there to this one, which is what was moved from the original M7. This is Ood Absolute, and this one again is just an absolute beast. And if you don't like oud fragrances, this might not be for you, but this is an absolute classy gentleman fragrance. If you're over the age of 30, you will love this. The only problem with this is discontinued as well. So if you can find this, and this is a black bottle, pick it up. I guarantee you, if you're over 30, you'll appreciate this one more than the youngsters will. Right, we're down to the last few. So we'll go and do these two next. So this one was a 2014 release called Noble Leather. And this one, it's just a really well done leather. So in this, it's got leather, saffron, dried fruits, vanilla, and patchouli. And oh my god, it reminds me of Killian Angel Share in that sort of sense of the word. It's just, I could eat it. I quite frankly could eat this one. It's amazing. And again, I'm really happy to have this in my collection. So that's Noble Leather by the Yves Saint Laurent, like all of them are. Then we're going to go with this one, Jazz. Now, this is not the original version. The original version looked like this. Now, this is white, live Jazz. That was the one after this. There's the flanker to this. But again, this one is a nice one. It's got cardamom, geranium, cypress, and patchouli, and it's a very fresh one. Again, I quite like this in the springtime. It's another good fragrance that, if you get this bottle, you'll be really happy with this one. A real classy fragrance. Again, no one talks about Jazz because, quite frankly, everyone talks about blue fragrances. But this one, massively underrated. Then, Live Jazz. It's just so nice. I've no idea what's the composition of this because I haven't had a chance to look at it. But I'll tell you now, it's a really classy fragrance. Again, most of them are very fresh, very nice, very uplifting. That's Live Jazz. And then we're on to the last three. So these are all like the signature or private blend. Like you have Tom Ford private blend. This is kind of the private blend for Yves Saint Laurent. I've only got a few of these, and I haven't tried two of them very often. So the first one is Wild Leather. Now this is a very strong leather fragrance. It reminds me a bit of a little bit like ombre leather, but quite a little bit more refined. It's not quite like Tuscan leather because Tuscan leather is very refined. It's kind of in between the two. And it's just a beast of a fragrance. I haven't worn this in winter yet, but I will do this year. I'm going to crack into this year. Wild Leather, which is the first one. Then the other one I haven't tried into is Caban. Again, it's a really classy fragrance. It's got rose and tonka in it, but I like a rose fragrance. So this one, again, haven't really had much chance to smell it and test it. So this one's another one I can't wait to try. Maybe in the summer, like springtime, summertime, maybe even early fall. This one will work really nicely. And last, but definitely not least, probably one of the kings of Yves Saint Laurent that they've ever made. It's Tuxedo, and let's face facts, it's spicy, it's patchouli. It's just like an old school style gentleman fragrance. It's just amazing. I could just smell this all day and I would be honestly a very happy man. Cracking fragrance. I've absolutely hammered into this, so I'm quite happy to still got like over half a bottle left. But amazing fragrance. So there you go, all my fragrances from Yves Saint Laurent. So Rich, Mitch, please let me know what you think of that. I still got quite a few more to pick up, but let's face facts. Can't have everything all at once. In the comments, let me know which one you like the most, or if you want me to do a review of any of these, more than happy to do that. If you want a top 10 list, a fragrance review, or a question, please hit me up. Also, I'm on Fun with Fragrances on Instagram. And as always, you absolute legends, smell amazing. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.